Coming to you live from the block where we build. It's the Supreme Team coming to you with another blessing, another lesson to keep you from stressing. We gonna have y'all in a place of peace.
Ooh.
Hit them with the scripture, sis.
All right, well, we'll be coming from John 14, verse 27. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let it be afraid.
And we're going to start off like this. A piece of place starts with your mind.
Make sure you keep that peace that surpasses all understanding in all situations. That's going to keep you grounded. That's the foundation.
Lean not into your own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge God, and He'll for sure direct your path.
Peace to keep pushing to get to that place of empowerment.
Peace of mind is priceless.
All right, so when it comes to finding peace, where do y'all find peace? Like, where would y'all find peace first?
In the word.
Yeah.
Explain.
It's more so after you'd have been through so much,
Mhm.
and it had the experience of actually being in His presence and allowing Him to be your peace. I mean, think about it right now, what we are as a people, not only as a people, but as our community, as our state, as the government, everything that we see on a day-to-day basis. You better have some peace, otherwise the things that you see will shake and move you.
I feel that.
Real talk. Well, there's different types of peace, different levels of peace, different ways to obtain that peace. It all just depends on the circumstance and the situation.
Totally agree. And sometimes it's hard to even get a peace. But when you've experienced it, as I said, you're more prone to actually be able to go to that place you visited before.
Mhm.
You know, it ain't no more than you had a good time at grandma's house. You want to go back, you know what I'm saying? So you want to visit because you done had that experience. You know what it's like at grandma's house. So when you know what it's like to be in a place of peace versus everything being chaotic, you'll find your peace. Your peace really is within. Matter of fact, we're going to tell you a little bit about the meds shortly.
Ooh.
Mainly, to discover your peace, it has to be a repetitive cycle, which means you have to get used to taking away the things that disturb your peace. So when you hit an atmosphere and it's negative energy, you know you have to remove you because you can't remove the atmosphere. When you're dealing with certain individuals or on your job or whatever disturb your peace, you have to get used to taking away the things to get you back to what's your normal. Because what's normal for you will never be normal for everybody else.
So is it safe to say only you can define what's toxic in your life?
You can define only you can define what's toxic to you.
Right, in your life. That's why I said personal. So, in other words, you know how sometimes we may look at a situation and we like, I just don't get why they put up with that or why they did, you know what I mean? But
Right.
in our reality, you know, that person may have not gotten tired of their
Right.
circumstance or their situation.
And it's not for you to see in that moment. That's why once we discover, that's why I say discover, which means you can start out and you'll think you're at peace until this happened, that happened, this happened, this don't go right, that don't go right. And you so far away from what's normal to you, now you gotta maneuver your way back, which means we have to do some lining out, we gotta take away some stuff, and most of all, we gotta be honest with ourselves, because we have a lot of those go along to get along moments where we will deal with stuff that's uncomfortable, you know, just to keep peace with other people, and all the time, we not at peace ourselves.
I wanna stir up the waters a little bit. You heard what you just said? You said sometimes we'll sit there knowing it's uncomfortable and our peace is disturbed. And I'm talking about stir up the waters because we're in a room full of men. And I always heard they say men, they don't care. They'll find comfort in the midst of anything. I'm talking about they'll really go be with a woman with 6, 7, 8 children.
No, we ain't gonna go that
and
far.
not, huh?
I said we ain't gonna go that far, but I'll let you.
I'm just saying,
Oh.
like, I'm saying, it's nothing wrong with it, but
Yeah.
they'll leave their own. That's even worse.
Oh, so they'll pretty much leave their own children to take care of somebody else's children for
And
peace.
nobody said they
It
was doing no
ain't
taking
saying
care.
take
Oh,
care of. It's
okay,
just
'cause I was like,
loud,
wait a minute,
it's nasty,
wait a minute.
You know what I'm saying? All the above, but a man will find comfort.
To leave one to
Is
take
that
care of
true?
seven?
I just want
I
to stir up
would
the
never.
waters a little bit. I mean, it just
Oh
be
no! It's
you know,
okay.
Versus you three.
Speak, brother.
We
I'm-
see,
I'm
we
coming
see
behind
peace, but it probably got some dudes out there that's like that. Cause when you seeking peace, everybody that's seeking know that sometimes you just peaceful. Sometimes you just wake up in a peaceful state, and then sometimes it's hard to find a piece of mind.
Mm.
So, with that being said, is what a lot of people don't know and don't realize is that when the enemy say, "I come to kill, steal, and destroy," what he's actually talking about is your peace. The first thing he gonna try to do is steal it, but stealing it ain't really good enough because if he steal it from you, you could steal it
Get it
back.
back,
You
yeah.
can steal it back. So then he gonna try to kill it. Now, how do we kill your peace? By killing your vibe.
Your character.
He can
All that.
he could assassinate your character, all that, and then just the situations that destroy your peace. Now, what do that mean? It mean that a situation where it's just impossible to have peace, or so you would think, because there is a type of peace that surpasses all understanding.
Ooh.
And that's what we say when we was talking about getting into the different levels and the different situations and circumstances of peace. And we can dive back into that scripture and just break it down a little bit. It was coming out of John, and with it was Jesus who was saying it, just to give a little context. And what he said is, "My peace I leave you." He said, "Peace I leave you, my peace I give unto you." So basically, he was saying that he left peace in the world, but his peace he give specifically unto you. But the key part is not as the world gives it. So what does that really mean?
The world didn't
Not-
give it,
not-
and the world can't take it.
Well, that's why he had to come back and say the world didn't give it and the world can't take it. I believe it was Paul that said that this peace that I have, the world didn't. Well, it was joy or peace. But he said that the world didn't give it and the world couldn't take it away.
Peace, though.
Well,
The
yeah.
only way to have joy is to have peace.
Yeah, you have to have peace. See, a lot of people think about things from external, and that's getting back into what we was talking about, is not as the world gives. The world is physical. You can find happiness in the physical world. So you can be having a bad day and somebody could buy you something. And with that happiness, a sense of peace will come with that. But that's peace as the world gives it. He said, I give you peace not as the world gives. So the only peace that he can give is spiritual peace. How do you find spiritual peace? You have to go within the spirit. And how do you go within the spirit? Separation. A lot of people don't have peace because they don't separate long enough to get it. If you think about every time that God would deal with somebody in the scriptures, they would always be alone. There would be a period of separation. And they would have to go off and be prepared to do whatever it is that they had to do. Like, for example, Moses being taken away, brought into the wilderness, and then brought back into the palace of the Pharaoh to tell the Pharaoh, pretty much, all your slaves, let them go, or we gonna rain down destruction on y'all. Now, you gotta be at a place of supreme peace to tell the authority of the whole country to just walk in his palace and give him an order. That's a state of peace that you got to be in. But what come with that peace is that was a peace, a spiritual peace that surpassed our understanding. So getting back to it, a lot of people, they seek happiness. Happiness is external. Happiness will what they call fleet. It'll go away. It's fleeting. Something can make you happy, and then 10 minutes later, you'll just be back to a normal state. A lot of people seek a state of happiness, but that's not a state that you can stay in, because happiness is an emotion. It's not something that you stay in. What people need to strive to stay in is a state of peace. And then from peace, you may move to happiness, or you may move to sadness, you may move to anger, but you should always try to get back to a state of peace. And then once you can maintain a state of peace, then that's when you have the opportunity to get joy.
So I got a question, everybody. Name one thing that brings you peace.
I got so many.
I wanted to say family, but sometimes.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, as family does, you know, I say peace. It brings me comfort, especially after losing my mom, and like the time that I get to spend with my siblings. Like, we spend way more time than ever before. We talk way more than we ever have. And so that give me a peace, because to me, with all us together, there is one, the one that delivered us.
That's real. T.
Man, I'm gonna have to say that word, me, baby. Reason being, like when my grandmother passed, it was 10/47, August 24th. I remember it just like it was yesterday.
What year?
Man,
Remember the date and time?
Yeah.
I don't remember the year. I know she did. I know she gone. You know what I'm saying? But when my mama, I heard my mama drop the phone. I already knew what it was.
I got you. It was 3
You know
years
what I'm
ago.
saying? Yeah. I heard my mama drop the phone, so I'm playing my game. I look back, you know what I'm saying? And I already knew what had happened, you know what I'm saying? So I went outside and started praying. I prayed. When I hit my front door, man, I started praying. I found myself around by Fat House praying, you know what I'm saying? And coming back, I'm still praying, you know what I'm saying? The only thing I told God is like, man, it's just me and you now. You know what I'm saying? My family can't save me. My family can't do what you can do for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's a hard thing.
You know what though? Listen at this. You heard what you said? My family can't. And the thing about it is, until you actually lose them, that's when you realize that they were like they had limits, although they went above and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? You couldn't miss grandma catering and caring for you.
No.
The same thing with me. My mama was my secretary. That was my mama. That was my, not even a friend, a best friend. Like, man, my prayer warrior. So much, honestly.
I feel that, you know, like that's why I say, man, when I get into the word, like I can chill, I can be around my homeboys, man, I can get on my game, I can talk to my mama, I can talk to my brothers, you know what I'm saying?
But it's
still
like
that,
being in the prayer.
it ain't nothing about like being, getting the word, man, I get lost. And then I'd spend so long in the word, man, until I start stretching, and it'll be a stretch like I just woke up, you know what I'm saying? And like I'm refreshed, I'm restored, you know, so. Like, that's why I say, like, that peace that surpasses all understanding, man, like, most people in a negative situation, they act negative, you know what I'm saying? But a peace that surpasses all understanding to keep you positive in a negative situation. Like you say, you can't take away the atmosphere, you understand me? But you got to remove yourself. That's deep, because I ain't never thought of that. You can't remove the atmosphere. You can't take negative out of the air. Because if you could, you know how much snatching and grabbing we'll be doing?
Well, not only that, guess what else you can't change? People.
Ooh.
And so in most situations, the circumstance and the atmosphere, the tone is set because of
People.
human entities.
Mm-hmm.
You heard Brother Greg said, we gotta separate the spiritual from, you know what I'm saying, physical. It's kind of hard, but when you got a peace within, I promise you, you just know to trust when you can't trace.
See, a lot of people don't know, like, man, that peace that surpasses all understanding is a guide. It'll guide you, you know what I'm saying? It'll guide you in ways that you ain't even know, man. You don't want to react negatively, bro. And I'm talking about, man, that just come to your mind, like, don't even worry about it. Just go ahead and do this here. Go ahead and do that there. leave it alone, turn the other way. You know what I'm saying? Peace will guide you, man, because you don't want your character to be disturbed, bro.
Not
Anything-
even disturbed. You heard bro say destroy. You don't want your character destroyed.
Destroy.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright.
He gonna destroy your character.
Bro G, what's your peace? Where do you find your peace?
I find my peace in separation, and then I find my peace in myself while in separation. But I have to separate, because when I lose my peace, I'm just due to the person that I am, the temperament that I have. My peace is too easily disturbed once it's been pushed past a certain point. So I could be out and about, and once my peace is disturbed, I could try as hard as I want to. It ain't gonna come back. I'm gonna be on edge until I'm not on edge. So the best thing for me to do is always to go and separate myself. And in my time of separation, I can think. And in thinking, I can logically assess the situation where I lost my peace. And then it comes to a matter of perspective. And you can make a choice. Okay, I was looking at it from this standpoint, but now looking at it from this standpoint, you can get your peace back. But a lot of people don't do that because they don't understand that peace is something that you have to accept and protect. You have to accept a state of peace, because it's easy to be in a state of war. The opposite of peace is war. So if you're not in a state of peace, you're in a state of war. And you ready for war. And us as human beings, when we get mad, we be ready to go to war. We don't necessarily want peace. So the first thing about getting peace is you have to be ready to accept it, because you can have a situation and peace can present itself to you and you be like, you know what? I see why I can make this situation right, but it feels good being mad. I want to be mad a little longer. I want to make this person feel what they made me feel. And you may avoid peace, or you may accept peace and then not protect it. So you may accept peace at the start of the day and then go out. And if you don't do everything in your power to protect your peace, we already have stated that there's someone who's out to steal it or kill it or destroy it all willy-nilly, then you're going to have your peace destroyed, stole, or killed before you get to lunchtime in your day. To protect my peace, I will avoid any person that threatens it. I will circumvent any situation that threatens it. I won't go any place that threatens it. You pretty much got to protect your peace with everything in you.
That's it. That's it. What about you, LB?
Peace for me is life. And I know it's easy to say, you know, we have life, so like I say, people acknowledge the fact that we have life, but everybody don't value life. And the thing of it is, when you're hit with as many traumatic experiences as we did in 2019, between April and December, we had 6 deaths, and 4 of them were sudden deaths. And when you think of sudden deaths, it's coming without warning. So the fact that you still have life every day, like bro say, the enemy come to kill, steal, and destroy. And just like God dispatch angels, the devil dispatch legions, and they come in full force. They don't care nothing about your day. They don't care nothing about what you went through in 2019. They don't care about 2018. None of that, you know.
Sis, they kill to destroy.
Oh yeah, right. But they have one purpose, and that's why we have one purpose, to protect it. So no matter what I come up against, I always have to tell myself, it could always be worse, you know.
Facts.
But you survived it. You still here. It don't matter. You know, a friend called me out frantic the other day. She just got a new car and had an accident, and I was like, but you still have life. I say, because I've seen people just go off the shoulder of the road and lose their life in their car fine. So You know, you just gotta be grateful for the fact that you still have life. And you right, but then you still saying but, which means you have life, but you don't value it. See, no matter what I go through throughout the day, I'ma always go back to that. My favorite song is Juanita Bottom, You Are My Peace. And the main thing, and I sing it over and over and over. Why are you praising God when everything seemed to be going wrong?
It's worth it.
Seem to be going wrong. That's what it looked like in that moment.
Yeah.
You know, but everything comes to shape us and mold us.
Yeah.
So what got me stagnant today, I'm gonna be able to walk straight through it tomorrow. You know why? Because I already came out of that. I came out of that. So guess what? I can acknowledge life. And I can say, hey, life is good. You know, I'm still here. I'm still here. Despite of, I'm still here. I woke up late. I'm still here. I had a blowout. I'm still here. Dang, somebody just stole $300 out of my account. Let me see where this went. This and that. But I'm still here. See, we still keep bouncing back from things that can be replaceable. But the thing of it is, when our life is gone, we just a memory. If you don't leave a legacy, you just a memory. So every day, my peace is, I got life.
Yeah.
So I'm still here. You know, my daily post is not for everybody else, it's for myself.
Yeah.
It's my reminder that you still have purpose. You still here. So don't let it take you off don't let it just take you off your guards. When you have rough time, you hit sour patches, you deal with idiots, you run into them sandpaper people, all that. They designed to do just what they gonna do, make you better. We still got life, y'all.
Yeah.
Hashtag building with purpose. But so I'm actually glad you were saying that, LB, because my peace comes from acceptance. Accepting every single thing that has happened, accepting everything that is currently happening, and accepting everything that will happen in the future. Because your past is your past, your present is your present, but you can create your better future. Like, you know, for example, when I lost my mom, you know, I'm the only child, so it's like, you know, it was me, my mom, and my dad, and now it's just me and my dad. So it's like, they're like, of course, there's still gonna be peace, but we're missing a piece, if that makes sense. So because we're missing that piece, it was harder for me and my father to find peace. But I forgot one thing, I have another father. Exactly. So I had to start realizing that in order for me to find true peace, I have to find out exactly who's the one that created peace. So once I found out that, I was like, okay, so I'm going through this trial and tribulation called life. And of course, you know, there's gonna be times where life is gonna test your patience and test your peace.
And your gangster.
And your gangster, of course. That'd be the number one. But the thing is, you know, with peace, you have to realize that with peace, there comes happiness, but there also comes tragedy. You just have to know when to balance the two. Because, of course, there's going to be times where you have your happy days, and there's times that you're going to have your bad days. But, of course, still, like you were saying, you know, I lost $300, you know, I still got peace. You know, somebody broke into my house, I lost something, some precious things, still got peace. Lost my parents, still got peace. I'm still here. So that means with this peace, I have purpose. Because I'm still here for some reason.
Bro, can I shout on that?
Do you?
Because I tell
Do you?
y'all all the time,
Do you?
from pain to purpose. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
We sitting here saying it. 3 out of 5 of us in this room literally has lost a parent or parents.
Exactly.
And when I say that, not just even just to death, the
Mhm.
absence of a parent,
Mhm.
you know, and so which causes in your younger years, your peace will be disturbed, because you know what? You trying to figure out who you are, whose you are. That's before you even met who he was.
Exactly.
If that make any sense.
Exactly.
And so again, once you've experienced the absence of a parent, the absence of a sibling, because I myself has lost a sibling, you know. So to even lose that, you know what I mean, to experience those traumatic events, as Sister Ibby say, to experience that and be able to still continue to have life,
And peace.
man, that's a peace that surpasses all understanding. It don't get no greater than that.
Exactly.
I mean, we alluding to the fact of peace that passes understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Man, but God. You know, I don't say, but God.
Right.
And I just want to go back and touch on what Sis was saying, LB, with the with protecting your peace, and why protecting your peace is so important, because we're up against the enemy. That's what the Bible calls him, the enemy, the adversary, which means that
The oppressor,
Yeah.
all that.
all that. We already stated what he coming to do, which is kill, steal, and destroy. So he's a strategist, and one of the best strategists. So protecting your peace is so important, because protecting your peace allows you to present a unified front. And what that is even to the enemy, if the enemy is watching, it looks like, even if you're weak, it looks like you're not weak. Because what the enemy does, what any enemy would do, they wouldn't attack anything when it was at its strongest. They would wait until it was at its weakest, its weak point, and then that's when they would find the best time to attack. So if you allow your peace to be taken, if you allow your peace to be stolen, or if you just lose it, and you're in a vulnerable state, a vulnerable position, the enemy not gonna wait for you to get your peace back and then come attack. He's gonna attack right then,
And
because he's gonna
definitely
say,
gonna attack when
he's
you're
gonna
weak.
attack
Right.
when you're weak. He's gonna say, now is the time. This is not a drill. They lost the peace. They going crazy.
You know why? Because he got the mindset we got. It ain't no getting ready if you already ready. He ready at all times, 365. We want to shut down and close down for Christmas, for Thanksgiving, and he on his job 365, 366 if it's a leap year.
And with that said, with even when you lose your peace, now we need to, like Bro Cam was saying, go into where does peace come from? What creates peace? And what creates the most stable and lasting form of peace is faith.
My favorite scripture, James 2:26. Faith without works is dead. That's it.
Yeah, because just even with the scripture that bro just touched on, faith without works is dead. The reason that when you have faith and you put works with it, it brings you peace, because of the faith that you have, that due to me putting in these works, now I'm about to be given whatever it is that I desired and had faith for. So the creation of peace comes through faith, strong faith. And the more unshakable your faith, the more unshakable your peace. So it got people that's going through situations that normal people couldn't even comprehend, couldn't even imagine, and they going through it with a state of peace. And people wonder, like, they ask, like, if I was in that situation, I don't know how do you do it? I don't know how I would do it. And they don't really have, that person don't really have an answer. That person just really like, I don't know. I can't tell you.
And I'm one to say, you know what?
I already know what you finna go, but
Man,
go,
listen,
but go.
my mom was on her bed of affliction, and before even getting as ill as she did, I can remember saying,
won't make it
man,
that
I don't know about it. If I had the Lord, I started calling on him, you know what I mean? And in the midst of me calling on him, like right now, let's just say October the 31st would be a whole year. Man, I'm trying to figure out how I kept my sanity. I know it is something greater. It
What
has
did
to
you
be
just
a
say?
higher
No,
power.
no. What did you just say? Be on her bed of affliction, which means before it even happened, you petitioned and summoned help because you knew you was gonna need it.
Man.
So you think that God didn't hear you? He heard your prayers. He knew your heart.
Yeah.
He knew what you was gonna go through. So guess what? In that moment, he had already dispatched angels for the journey ahead.
Turn up, LB.
All right.
So
I
Turn up.
want to say thank you,
Turn
Lord.
up, turn
You
up,
heard me?
turn up.
Hey, I want to
So
say thank
the work
you,
was
Lord.
already done. You had already laid out the format. I know what I
Yeah.
need, and guess what?
Man.
He supplied your every need.
He said he
Almost
would.
365 days later, and you didn't even see yourself still standing.
Man.
3 days prior.
Man, listen, I'm talking about a few years prior. I'll never forget it. I talking to old G Beezy, and I was telling him, you know, giving condolence. He had just lost his dad. That he's a young man up under me. I would say a kid compared to my age, you know. And when I went to get condolence, you know what that baby looked up to me and said? He said, man, I done did this before. Because he had to bury his mama. You know what I'm saying? And tears came to my eyes. I'm giving condolence, but tears came to my eyes because I'm sitting here like, I don't even have the next word to this. All I can say is, man, I don't know if I ever, and who to think, a few years later, fast forward, and here it is. And when he came to see me after she passed, he said, man, when I heard your mom pass, he said, all I can think about was that day when you came to give me an encouraging word and you told me what you would. He said, I had to get here to see you. I say, well, guess what? Somebody working something behind the scenes.
You already know.
I'm saying somebody, but all right, I'm gonna start shouting in a minute.
No.
Y'all get my drip.
Turn up,
your
turn
drip.
up.
Y'all get my
Get your
drip.
drip.
Yeah,
Get your drip.
they say get my drip. I say get my drip because it is him. It is he.
And then, like, just imagine it like this. With peace, you know, especially losing a loved one so close to you.
Ooh, man.
Like, you know, because, of course, we live in a world where we know we were born and we know one day we have to leave here. Just like, you know, our loved ones, we know one day it's going to happen. But exactly. Exactly. But the thing about it is, the time between your loved one leaving here and your time of bereavement, as time go by, and this is what I learned from losing my mom,
You've been working.
man,
I've been working so much. I promise you. Thank you, Lord. I ain't gotta say nothing else. I can't even expound on it enough. Like, y'all know how we used to say, as far as iron sharpen iron. You know what I mean? Not only that, we speaking of a place of peace at this moment. If y'all didn't have peace and me being surrounded with y'all, this wouldn't have strengthened me.
right.
You feel me?
Right.
I thank God that I had y'all, my team, that you good, you straight, you if mama wouldn't want, he has his way of doing everything. Just think about when you came to the team.
It
You
was
know what I
literally
mean? You know
like
what
literally
prayer
a
you
week.
prayed,
Yeah.
not knowing that we were gonna be able to nurture you. We nurtured you until you actually, from being our baby till our bro. Sound like a black household to me. What y'all think?
Amen, amen. But but like, you know, nobody really, you know, like I was saying, nobody really knows, you know, exactly what's gonna happen right after we lose somebody, because it's like your peace pauses, you know. Your peace actually pauses in your life, but as time go by, you know, I learned myself
I feel as if
because
your peace is pretty much overpowered.
overpowered.
It's
Yeah,
overpowered with
correct.
grief.
Correct.
That's pretty much what it is. And the thing of it is, like we say, each day you gotta chip off a piece of that to get back to your peace.
Time heals all.
Man, listen.
Yeah.
Every day. You know
Time
what my
helps.
words are, y'all?
Mm.
People say, how are you? How's it going? One day at a time. That's the only thing I can say. One day at a
That's
time.
exactly.
Because the thing about it is, tomorrow I might literally, like sometimes before my feet hit the floor, tears done fell in my eyes. You feel me? And then I gotta smile because I remember what I'm doing it for. You feel me? I go back to, I'm talking about even just the idea of the artists that didn't allow me to get on their tracks and I hear myself speak. You feel me? I got a family that's dependent on me. I know one thing, just in the words of Lil T, everything gonna be alright. You feel me? So if I know nothing else, I know everything gonna be alright. Again, I gotta trust him even when I can't trace him. Shout out to bro, Stroh said, trust the process.
Mm-hmm.
And so guess what? In the process, we know that it's gonna be some sifting. We know that guess what? It's gonna be some, I'm talking about some
Shaping.
pressing.
Mhm.
It's gonna be some shaking and
molding.
molding. I'm talking about literal. You know what I mean? We can actually create a vision to it by going into science if we want. But this bigger than science.
Of
I
course.
trust it. I believe it.
You know
Feel
why?
me?
Because we can accept that we have to continuously search for our peace. We live in a pretend world. We live in a get by world.
Mm-hmm.
So if you smile or you like it, I'm gonna keep doing it because validation is needed when you lost. You know. But the thing of it is, to honestly know where your peace at, separation is mandatory. It's much needed.
Even in the Bible it says that.
You're gonna have to, because guess what? You at your lowest. That separation gonna level you up to your peace. It's gonna get you back to your peace. Because it's easy to be knocked down, but we can't stay down.
Yeah.
So we
When-
gotta separate ourselves. Learn when to separate ourselves. I'm gonna just say
Yeah, it's definitely good to know the times to separate yourself and in order to build your peace back up, because you have to separate yourself, because God doesn't deal with you from a place of emotions. You can be as sad as you want to
Baby,
be,
he don't move
as
on
mad
emotions,
as you
baby.
want to be,
Mm-mm.
as happy as you want to be. He not gonna move due to your emotions. So you have to be in a place of peace where you can connect with him. Oh, go ahead, bro.
No, I was gonna let you finish.
Oh well, I was gonna say
You really hate
the importance,
Amen.
the importance of what a lot of people don't know is that us as believers, we have what I like to call paranoid peace. And where does paranoid peace come from? Paranoid peace come from pain. When you've experienced deep levels of pain, you can have peace, but you also go through life knowing that that pain could be right around the next corner. And then when it's a certain level of pain, you know that it might not just be pain that's around the next corner, death might be around the next corner. Because they say death is forever present. They say death is right around the corner. Well, which corner is it? We turn corners every day. How can you have peace knowing that if I mess up and take this wrong corner, death could be there? And this is not something I think. I seen it. I seen death befall someone who didn't deserve to die.
Ooh, you getting too deep for me, bro.
So we have paranoid peace, meaning that yes, we gonna come and we gonna say we got peace, but it's always that what if in the back of our mind. And that's why knowing how to create peace through faith is so important, because the Most High already knew that if he gave us total and complete peace, we wouldn't worry about anything. And we would move better, but we also wouldn't acknowledge him as much. Because when we lose our peace, who is the first person we call?
Oh Lord, help me, Lord.
Every knee
to-
shall bow and every tongue.
Exactly.
Confess.
We can say, people can say what they want to say, but just without even thinking, a lot of people without even thinking, some aren't even believers. And as soon as something bad happened to them, the first thing they'll say is, "Oh my God,
Oh,
Lord,
Jesus."
oh Jesus." They calling him because it's something in your spirit that no, whenever something attacks, you need
You need something to fall
you
back
need
on.
you need
Some
real
real help.
backup, because
Yeah.
there are people out there and they claim that we're gods. They said us as black men, we're gods. Black women, they're gods. Well, I say this: if we're gods, we're weak gods, because anything can kill us. Like, what can kill God? What can hurt God?
Nathan?
What can make God do something he don't want to do?
Try him and see what he do in 3 days.
we come back to us as you know, some people claim that we're gods. Do you know that if you claim that you're God right now, I could come to you, tie you up. That's already something you can't do, God. But I could come to you, tie you up, put honey on you, and put you on a bed of ants. And if enough ants bite you, they'll kill you. You'll die from ant bites. A spider can bite you. One spider can bite you and kill you. One snake can bite you and kill you. But you're a God.
Lack of oxygen.
You can break your arm and can't fix it yourself. Got to go to the hospital and cry. But you're a God. This is the thing. God knew that if he gave us too much, that he knew ego would
gonna
get
take
involved. So
And pride.
it's very important to first understand that you have paranoid peace, meaning it can be shaken. Second, to know that you need faith to replenish it. And third, you need to know that you need it replenished. Don't just think that, oh, I got this piece is good enough. No, because one thing that you will discover in this life that LB, she laid it on me, had to be in 2018. Outside, we were standing outside of the Martin Luther King Center, and she said, bro, peace of mind is priceless. And truer words have never been spoken, because if you don't believe that, then I give you the case of Robin Williams. Grammy Award winning actor, super successful, household name, loved by pretty much everyone, had everything,
Literally.
committed suicide. So he had everything, but he
peace.
didn't have
Yeah,
peace of
peace.
mind.
That's right.
So that goes to show that you can have everything that the physical would desire, but if you don't have peace, then you have nothing.
Right.
And just imagine the storms that you go through. Just imagine literally the storms that you go through in life. Just like in the Bible when, they were all on the boat and Jesus was asleep. And this is a storm going, we all know the story, but this is a storm going on. Just like in our lives, we have our times where we're going through storms. And Jesus was peacefully.
Hi, Laura.
He was just peacefully asleep.
But the disciples was about to go crazy.
Exactly. There were times, like there are literally times where we would have our own personal storms, and we just like, "Hey, wake up! Hey, you don't see what's going on? I need you." And that's what happened,
But your urgency ain't their emergency. Though.
Exactly.
That part.
Exactly. But the thing is, Jesus, he woke up and he simply said, "Peace be still."
And they say, what manner of man is he that he can speak to the winds and the waves and make them behave?
During a storm, a crazy storm that no man or weak guy could create
Exactly.
or break. And
Go ahead, bro.
it's just crazy that, all we have to literally do is when times where, we trying to find peace or lack peace, all we have to do is just ask God to, simply ask him for peace to be still.
I think, see how you said, ask God? A lot of times we've been conditioned, and people feel like we're not supposed to ask God questions. But again, I beg to differ. I do believe that we are to ask questions to the instructor in order to pass the test. If every day is a daily test, how are you to be successful in taking those exams if you're not instructed by the instructor?
Just like what Bro Greg was saying, paths. Just like, we don't really ever know, where death is going to come. Like, we don't ever know which path or which road that we got to take. But we always, your conscience pretty much just like, okay, you should make this left. Sometimes it's Jesus himself saying, hey, don't go that way. Or, hey, don't follow them people. Don't follow that crowd. Your conscience is not always, your conscience.
You
if
know
you,
what?
if you,
See, and that's why I said it's bigger than science.
Exactly.
We want to give it.
A
That
name.
was my conscience. That was my gut feelings. It was
Intuition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in our reality, where does the intuition come from?
Who created it?
Where does this sixth sense come from?
Mm-hmm.
Greater is he that is within me than he that is of the world.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna preach, but I'm just saying. All right.
And then sometimes with peace, we end up losing pieces.
Ooh.
If that makes sense. Does that make sense? It makes sense.
If you want peace, you gotta lose some pieces.
Ooh, explain
Yeah.
that. Explain that, please.
You said it because the pieces is to refrain and remove from whatever disturbs.
How much time we have?
My 10 minutes.
Oh, no.
We
I'll share it with you another time. Go ahead.
we
No.
oh, go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
It's a story. Go ahead.
No, you could have dropped
I
that.
can't break it down.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We're in a constant process of changing and growing. Everything that's alive is changing or is growing. Once it stops changing or growing,
It's dead.
it's dead.
Yes.
Which means that in this life, you're going to change and grow, and there's going to be some people that's not going to change and grow with you. And it could be heartbreaking to have to lead them behind. It could make you lose your peace. But staying with them won't give you peace either. That's the thing. A lot of people, they won't let go of the pieces because they think that staying with them will bring them peace. But no, you won't have peace if you stay because they're just going to pull you down. Think about if I was a millionaire, and think about if I was from the hood, born and raised, been broke with everybody else all my life. Then
doing the Fresh Prince.
Then, yeah. No, not the Fresh Prince, but just been on the same wavelength, been in the same lane, in the same struggle with everybody else all my life. Then all of a sudden, I become a millionaire. But I don't want to leave the pieces. So I still hang out in my hood. Now, most people will think, oh, he's so real. They'll think that I have peace. That's why I can hang out there. But the thing about it is, if you were with somebody and grew up with them from knee high to a candle fly, and then all of a sudden they just blew up, had $1 million, and then came back and was around you, but didn't give you no $1 million, just came back and was around, like you just seen them around. It's the same person that you seen broke, struggling, and now they left, came back, now they got $1 million and they just around. You think you gonna be happy with that person? If that person don't come to you with some of that million and say, hey, you know, we was in the hood together. You know, we was in the hood together. Why don't you break me off a little something? And then that person say no. That person don't share the success.
You know that's coming.
You know, have you seen what happened to Nipsey Hussle? You can't stay with people that you outgrow. There's no peace there. So
some of the pieces got to go.
Some of the pieces have to go. Some of the pieces always have to go.
Well, you know what I'm saying? I rather a moment of pain, meaning removing myself, would be that moment of pain versus staying and having a lifetime of pain. Remember, you just said death around the corner. So in that situation, when you brought Nipsey up, that was his demise, the hood. You know what I'm saying? Not saying, because of course I love the hood.
His demise was outgrowing his surroundings, but still playing his surroundings like the same. So it's basically like, yes, I was loved here, but then I left and became a millionaire. Now I'm back. Well, it's not that he changed anything. Right. It's that the people around him start looking at him like, we want that million. We was here. We deserve to have what you have.
Even though they
we lived a life.
Even though they didn't hustle like Nipsey.
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying. But see, people don't care about that.
Mm-hmm.
People don't care about the process.
Ooh.
People don't care about the process that you go. Like, for example, if you try to tell a little kid, you buy a little kid a toy and then they break it and then you tell them, hey, that was expensive. You know, that cost me time, energy, and money. They don't care. All they care about is the prize. They don't care what went into getting it. They just care about it and them having it. And most people are children in the mind. So they don't care that you had to go out and grind and stay up late
You make
nights
it
and
look
early
easy, so I feel
morning.
like
Put in your
I'm
10,000 hours. I said, put in
Yeah.
your 10,000 hours.
Yeah,
That's what I said. It was the hustle that built the muscle.
See,
it was the struggle. They don't
a
understand.
lot of people,
struggle
a lot of
through this.
people, a lot of people don't want to run the race with you. They want to wait for you at the finish line and say, "Yeah, I'm on his team." After you done ran the race, but see
Wanna
when
cheer
you
you on.
when you get to the finish line, you gonna naturally feel some type of way, and you gonna be like, if you just watch me fill up the bag, then you can't have nothing out the bag because you didn't put nothing in it. You just watch me fill it up. But
Like-
people have a problem with that because people feel
Entitled.
entitled.
Just
And
like
you
on Set
know
It Off
what?
with TT.
It's so crazy though because we saying that. I mean, you starting to even see little kids like entitled. You know, on my job they called it. You calling about a credit card, but credit ain't that somebody else's money? How you entitled to it? You know what I'm saying? Like y'all knock my credit down wide. That is something to deal with. All your credit cards and what you've established, your activities have determined that you do not need this much credit. You're not entitled to it.
And kids have entitlement, but you know what else kids have? Kids develop early. A place of peace. Think about the movies you see or the books you read. They have a little kid, and then they go through something emotional. Somebody holler at them or
Like
something,
the little
and then
rascals.
they run off, and then what you find them under a tree or they behind a house somewhere. But the first thing a kid will do is find somewhere that's a place of peace for them.
And get away from
Like-
it.
And they kids know it because see, kids are kids physically, but spiritually a lot of times they're more mature than us adults, and they do things and we say, the kid go through something traumatic, all the other kids will tease them or something, and that kid will go run off and be by himself. And we'll tell the little kid, no, you don't need to be by yourself. You need to go back over there and try to force fit your way in
Or fight them.
and fight them
Yeah,
or
just
be
automatically,
like
yeah.
them. And not even knowing that the kid is doing the smartest thing he could do. Because why
Trying
in
to
the
heal.
world would you want to be around people who don't want to be around you?
Agree.
Or even
Why-
try to make them your friend when
Exactly.
When
Why
you
would
showed me,
why,
That's-
why,
yeah.
would you, why would you try
That's
to,
how you build
try to make
toxicity.
so that ain't even their first instinct. Don't you think if that's what he was supposed to do, that something would naturally gear them towards that?
Right.
But that naturally gears them
Gear
towards,
them
okay,
towards the
I'm gonna go over here by
For
myself.
myself.
I'm gonna go because as kids
I'm with
they
them kids.
yeah and see, and that's why the Bible says it so many times it referred to you having to be like a child.
Peace be still.
Yeah. So
And this has been a place of peace. Like we said, a lesson to give you a blessing and keep you from stressing.
yes. It's been good, and like you always say about a childlike mindset, we need to go back to that childlike mindset and the spirit to actually surround ourselves in a place of peace through all the chaos. We just need to find our peace, and the peace is gonna come within. If you hold on, Block Builders will be dropping a different session every Thursday.
Episode 2. This is currently episode
Correct.
2.
Episode 2 here. And so we will continue building and to bring to you, what was going to be the title? I forgot.
Mental medicine.
Yeah, mental medicine to actually be part 2 of our last session.